Hello, everybody. Welcome. Today we have some great news from the state of Alabama. If you've not been following the special election, there was no majority in the Republican Party, leading to the runoff between Luther Strange and Roy Moore. To set the stage, the establishment Republicans funneled millions of dollars into the campaign to elect Luther Strange, who's a stereotypical establishment candidate. First of all, I don't know why the Republican Party would funnel millions of dollars into primary when there it's an infighting. Why would we spend something? I've looked at some certain cost estimates everywhere from like $9 to $30 million was spent on getting Luther Strange, a Republican, just getting it through the primary, and Roy Moore just spent a fraction of this. This is just absolutely crazy. The reason behind this, I believe, is that there seems to be an elitist attitude of the mainstream party. The Republican establishment has seem to be power hungry. They wanna maintain their power. They're extremely scared of losing power. So this is why what they're trying to do is they're trying to suppress candidates in this recent populist Tea Party movement that has been really building up in America since 2008 when Barack Obama was elected. You can say that it was earlier on, say George Bush, because people were just dissatisfied with the neo the neocons and their system. They don't seem to want to fix the system either. They just want to empower themselves and enrich themselves through their various pork barrel projects, their book writing, their speech fees. I mean, look at all mainstream politicians. Their speaking fees are enormous, and this is why they want to maintain the power, keep the status quo, never really solve the problems. So they're always needed to solve the problems, and they also stay in for years. Some candidates, some are in there for 30, 40 years. This is crazy. This is not what the founding fathers wanted, and this is why Roy Moore was elected. This is a great victory for the deeply red Alabama. First of all, he was able to. First of all, he'll be able to sweep the election with Democrats, as they don't really have a presence in Alabama outside what's called as the Black Belt, which runs around central Alabama, and also like Birmingham and Montgomery, and right along the Mississippi border, is but that is they have no chance, no chance. See, the reason why I support Roy Moore, as this is a man of principle. He truly believes in limited government. He actually lost his job twice, being he was prosecuted by the federal government for his beliefs, which is crazy. Absolutely crazy that a man would risk his livelihood for what he believes in. This is why he is a necessary change. And if you've actually followed Alabama politics, is extremely Republican, so it's very easy for a Republican to get elected. It's really the primaries that matter. So their state house is full of corruption, and Roy Moore has been an advocate against it. He truly believes in limited government. I believe his victory has really made the establishment really worried. For instance, there was a popular Tennessee rhino named Bob Corker. He's a senator from there. He actually announced his retirement right about the time in which we knew Roy Moore was going to win, because it looks like that populist candidates are winning all over. I mean, look at this: Brexit, Trump, and the AfD, the rise of the AfD, which is a populist movement in Germany, wants an end to Merkel. National populism is on the rise. This is a very good thing, because the establishment politicians seem to have forgotten that they're not ruling. They actually have people. They've realized the effect, and it's necessary um to have a change up, as they seem to have lacked perspective. And we've been electing these same candidates since I mean, there's been some instances where we've overcome this. For instance, like massively popular Ronald Reagan. I mean, there's others. There's like Ron Paul, um, to a certain certain extent, like Ted Cruz is like the Tea Party was the big movement that really brought in that started the change towards populist candidates away from the neocons, the establishment, which I think really formed under um, Nixon. Nixon, then Ronald Reagan really was opposed to this. Um, he kind of like he brought supply side economics to the Republican Party and had a rebirth. However, that popularity was abused by the old establishment Republicans, the Nixonians who want big government, more spending, and more infringement in your life. And then Ronald Reagan, for all his faults, he did increase government spending, which is wasn't a whole. He intended not. He didn't want to, but the majority of the Republican Party did. And if you look at Ron Paul's support for Ronald Reagan, he thought that Ronald Reagan truly supported um, non-deficit spending. This is very, and then later on he realized that maybe he didn't, but it still doesn't change what Ronald Reagan did. Enough of me getting sidetracked. Um, let's go on to um this. Go back to Bob Corker. Um, with Tennessee, I think why he didn't want to run for re-election is he did not want to lose to another populist candidate like Romer who overthrew the incumbent. Um, Another one like when Eric Cantor lost his election in Virginia. I believe he was the former Speaker of the House. I could be wrong, but it's really embarrassing for an incumbent to lose to a new populist candidates like Trump. Trump beat all the mainstream candidates, the Jeb Bushes, the John Kasichs, the Marco Rubios. Extremely embarrassing loss. There's, however, some trouble. So it looks like there's some trouble in Arizona. So if you guys don't know about the Arizona politics, is they've been deeply red since the days of Barry Goldwater, and the birth of the conservative movement was in Arizona. Very Republican. However, it seems like the Democrats have a strategy in which they have a coalition of minorities, which is how they win elections. Because if they did not have their minority vote, they would not be able to elect politicians at a national level. Because the core of their voters is urban whites and then minorities. So what they had to do is because they realized that they could not win America, they needed to start importing voters from Mexico and Latin America, and they've been using this like refugee crisis as an excuse to bring, Africans, more Africans to use as voters. So what they do is they allow the illegal immigrants to come, and then they have children, and those children are now American citizens who will grow up to vote, and then the Democrats say that the Republicans are anti-Latino. Obviously not true. We're anti Republicans are anti-illegal immigration, which is which is a real big issue as it really depresses wages. And if we're going to have a legal system, we need to follow by the rules. So this leads to Jeff Flake. So Jeff Flake is the incumbent Arizona senator. He's a Republican. However, he's a rhino. He's not very conservative at all. He's really lenient on illegal immigration, which is a real big issue in the state of Arizona, because as more and more illegal immigrants can have more and more children in the United States, then the Hispanic population will increase in Arizona, which already dramatically increase. And the Republican Party will eventually be a no-show if current Hispanic voting track keeps on going. This is not good. Because so how would I fix this? Well, first of all, we need to have a fresh face in Arizona. We need a new populist candidate like Roy Moore. We need this in what's it called, in Tennessee. I'm really hoping for a populist all over the United States. This is what we need. We need a national grassroots conservative movement that will oppose the establishment, that will bring limited government, and hopefully I'm hoping for a balanced budget amendment with this new Republican majority. Well, I actually think the U.S. If you guys are familiar with the 2018 senatorial election map, it looks like the Democrats have no chance. There's very few Republican states that are up for re-election, and a whole lot of Democrats up for re-election, which is really good for the Republican Party because they have fewer opportunities to lose and more opportunities to win. So I'm thinking that we'll pick up a couple seats in the Senate, reestablishing our majority. However, we need to have a majority minus the rhinos. The rhinos are essentially Democrats, the Susan Collins of the world. The senator from Alaska, Jeff Flake, John McCain. We need to have a bulletproof, truly conservative majority, and I think we can form that. With Roy Moore starting in Alabama, we need to pick up. We need to we need to primary a lot of the incumbents to really put pressure on the establishment, especially, Uncle Mitch McConnell. He's, I think, the number one establishment candidate. Um, if he's if he's I don't know when he's running for re-election. Here, let me just Google this for you. Um, Mitch McConnell. Hold on. Oh, he's right here. Mitch McConnell. Let's see when he's running for re-election. Re-election. Oh, he's running in re-election. Ew. That's not good. Uncle Mitch will be in there for a long time. No good. We need to take back the Senate seat by seat. We need to get rid of the establishment. Kind of like how they did in Germany with the rise of the AfD. The AfD is this new right-wing nationalist party in Germany, which is taking votes from the CDU, which is the so-called center-right party under Angela Merkel that's been letting in immigrants. Same strategy as the Democrats use in America. However, the CDU is traditionally a Christian party, and if I had to guess, they'll be voting for socialists and leftists who will ruin Germany's economy. And this is why the AfD is forming, the alternative for Germany, and it did extremely good. It is about, I believe, 10% of the seats. The Libertarian FDP party is also doing very well in Germany, and is sadly gonna form a coalition with the CDU slash CSU, which is not the worst thing in the world. Hopefully, hold them accountable. Sort of like how the Conservatives lost in the UK, where they didn't lose, they failed to form a majority, and they have to ally with the DUP, which is a right wing party out of North Ireland, which is slightly bit more conservative than uh the normal Conservative Party in the rest of England. Thank you. Have a great day. See you guys next time.